So, what is cryptography? Why should you even care? So, cryptography deals with protection and preservation of information in all its forms. This science has evolved dramatically over the time, but its underlying goal has never changed. Even though the tools have, as information has changed, the human beings have gotten smarter. The technology has become substantially more advanced to keep up with the changing issue and threats. So, if you look back in time and trace the evolution of the science up to the current day, you will see that technology in forms of increasingly powerful computer has made the process more complex and innovative as well as stronger. In the field of cryptography, the topic of encryption gets by far the most attention that can probably be said to be sexy form of art. Other techniques such as steganography also belong in this field, but encryption is one of the attracts the more attention for manipulating and protecting the information. Also, within the field of cryptography is cryptanalysis, which deals with unlocking or uncovering the secrets that others try to hide or obscure. They can hide or try to hide or obscure. Cryptanalysis is an old science that has been around as long as people have been trying to keep things straight. So, let's go and talk about cryptography in action. So, you will encounter cryptography in many forms throughout in this lecture. It is applied to many different technologies and situations such as something you need to firm grasp of. So, here are a couple of the examples of applied cryptography. Public key infrastructure, digital certification, authentication, e-commerce, RSA, MD5, secure hash algorithm. So there is a couple of the secure hash algorithm like SHA-20, SHA-56, SHA-5112. So there are many of the secure hash algorithm. Secure socket layer, which we all know as SSL, PGP, which is pretty good privacy, and SSH, which is secure shell. So in many cases, encryption technologies are not only an important part of the technology or system, but also a required part of that cannot be excluded. For example, e-commerce and similar system responsible for performing financial transaction typically, which will include encryption technologies not only because of the protection, but it offers also because it makes legal sense to do so. Introducing encryption to a system does not ensure bullets and also bulletproof security because it may still be compromised, but encryption does make hackers work a little bit harder. So how does this cryptography work? So cryptography has many different way of functioning. Before you can understand the basic process, you must familiar with some terminology. With this in mind, so let's look at the few terms that use the field of cryptography. First one is plain text or clear text. Plain text is the original message. It has not been altered. It is being useful information. Remember that even goes through Caesar zipper operate as on text. It is but one form of plain text. Plain text can literally be anything. Ciphertext is the opposite of plain text. It is a message or other data that has been transformed into different format using a mechanism known as algorithm. It is also something that can be reversed using an algorithm and a key. Algorithms chippers, the algorithm for transforming clear text into ciphertext. These are the trickiest and most mysterious part of this encryption process. This component sounds complex, but the algorithm or chipper is nothing more than a formula that includes discrete steps and describe how encryption and decryption process is to perform in a given instance. Keys are very important and frequently complicated. A key is a discrete piece of information, usually random in nature, that determines the result or output or given by cryptographic operation. A key in the cryptographic sense can be thought of in the same way as a key in the physical world or in a special item that used to open or unlock something. So, in this case, a piece of information. In this encryption world, a key is used to produce a meaningful result, and without it, a result would not be possible. So, that's all for this lecture. We will also continue with cryptography in our next lecture. Much like any system that we will explore in this stage, cryptography has its fault and potential attacks. Attacks are designed to leverage weakness in both implementation and logic in many cases. However, one thing that you should always keep in mind is that no matter how strong or well designed your system may be, it will always be vulnerable to those who have enough computing power, time, and determination. The first type of attack we will look is the most commonly seen in movies, books, and other media, the brute force attack. A brute force attack works by trying every possible combination of code, symbol, and characters in an effort to find the right one. DES is vulnerable to brute force attack, whereas triple DES encryption is very resistant to brute force attack because of the time power involved in a retrieve key. See in this table. Cracking time for 40 to 56 bit keys. As you can see, regular user it will take 1 week, for 56 bit 40 years. Small business it will take 12 minutes and 556 days. Corporation 24 second 19 days, and large multinational as you can see 0.005 second and 6 minutes. So is very easy to crack. So in addition to a brute force attack, other methods designed to recover a key including a ciphertext only attack. So this attack has some sample of ciphertext but lacks the corresponding plain text or the key. The goal is to find corresponding plain text in order to determine how the mechanism works. Known plain text attack. So this attack possesses the plain text and ciphertext as one or more messages. The attacker will then use this acquired information to determine the key in use. These attacks share many similarities with brute force attack. Chosen plaintext attack. The attacker is able to generate the corresponding ciphertext to deliberately chosen plaintext. Essentially, the attacker can feed information into the encryption system and then observe the output. The attacker may not know the algorithm or the secret key in use. And last one is chosen ciphertext attack. So the attacker is able to decrypt a deliberately chosen ciphertext into the corresponding plaintext. Essentially, the attacker can feed information into the decryption system and observe the output. The attacker may not know the algorithm or the secret key in use. So that's all the issues with cryptography. So let's go and talk about the application of cryptography. Cryptography can be applied in communication of data and information, which you will see in form of IPsec. So let's first talk about IPsec, and this lecture will this section of this slide will provide or examine this protocol suite and how this cryptography fits in. So Internet Protocol Security, which is IPsec in short, is a set of protocols designed to protect the confidentiality and integrity of data as it flows over the network. The set of protocol is designed to operate at the network layer of OSI model and process packet according to a predefined group of settings. Some of the earliest mechanisms for ensuring security work at the application layer is the OSI model. So IPsec is the new technology that has proven to be more successful than many of the previous methods. IPsec has been widely adopted not only because of its tremendous security benefit but also because of its ability to be implemented without major changes to individual computer system. IPsec is especially useful for implementing virtual private network and also remote user through dial-up connection to private network. Second one is pretty good privacy. As you all know what this is, if we are into this cryptography field. So pretty good privacy, which is PGP in short, is another application of cryptographic technology. Using public key encryption, PGP is one of the most widely recognized crypto system in the world. PGP has been used to protect the privacy of email, data storage, and other forms of communication such as instant messaging. PGP was designed to provide the privacy and security measures that are currently present in many forms of online communication. The email travels to the destination or receipt in the encryption form. The recipient will use the PGP to decrypt the message back into a plain text. The PGP system is a simple but innovative mechanism that uses a process similar of the public and private key system that we explored previously. The key pair consists of public key and private key. So the public key encrypts messages and private key decrypts them. Sensitive data files stored on your hard drive or removable media can also be protected using PGP. You can use your public key to encrypt the files and your public key to decrypt them. Some versions also allow the user to encrypt an entire disk. This is especially useful for laptop users in the event the laptop is lost or stolen. And the last one is secure socket layer, which is SSL. So another important mechanism is this. So SSL protocol was developed by Netscape in the mid 1990s and rapidly became a standard mechanism for exchanging data securely over insecure channels such as internet. When a client connects to a location and the require of a SSL connection, the server will present the client with a digital certification that allows the client to identify the server. The client makes sure that the domain name matches the name of the certification and the certificate that has been generated by a trusted authority and bears a valid digital signature. Once the handshake is completed, the client will automatically encrypt all the information that is sent to the server before it leaves the computer. Encrypted information will be unreadable en route. Once the information arrives at the secure server, it is decrypted using a secret key. If the server sends information back to the client, this information will also be encrypted on the server before being transmitted. So that's all for applications of cryptography. So let's give you a note. So a note is that a mutual authentication situation could also take place where both end of the communication channels are authenticated, both for client and also for server. So in summary, we talk in this cryptography lecture, we cover many components of cryptography, discuss the importance and the basic components and also applications of all of it. So cryptography is able to provide many services to keep the data and service secure and safe.